Hey everybody, today I want to talk about how I got my videos to show up in the top slot of Google's AI overviews. And the reason that that's a good thing is because, as you know, search has changed and we've got GEO now, which is an addition to SEO, which ain't going away. But it's presented some new problems. And so that problem is that text content frequently will get summarized, gets scraped, and then the LLMs will present this information without actually citing you as the one who has these great ideas. They're sort of eating your lunch and taking away from the visibility that you had been earning in the past. So um, let's take a look about what's happening there and what we can do about it. So great article here from AirOps. I'll show you this URL again in case you want to read it, take a screenshot. But yeah, good article talking about YouTube and how that can help with AI search to solve this exact problem of lessen visibility, lessen citation, and lessen traffic. So here's the article. And it's is your brand missing out on the fastest growing source in AI search? And they're really not joking. It's been a big and quick shift. A lot of you are probably feeling this already. Maybe your traffic is down. Maybe the AI visibility thing is a priority for you as a company because you're realizing that this has been a change in buyer behavior as well as sort of a technical change. So here's that article again from AirOps if you want to check it out, take a screenshot. I'll give you a few more seconds. Three, two, one, moving on. So the data in that article, basically the big thing for me was that YouTube is a way to get cited. And what we mean by that is when buyers ask a question in AI search, the YouTube videos can get cited. It's not guaranteed, of course, because these are deterministic. Sorry, not deterministic, probabilistic. So, but I've tested this, and within the Google ecosystem, um, this is really especially true because Google owns YouTube and they make billions of dollars in ad revenue when you watch their videos. So they have a very strong financial interest to surface these YouTube videos and cite them. It's also good for people who are trying to get their questions answered. I like video; it's helpful. Have people explain things; they get to show and tell. And then plus, when they show up in search citation, you get to see in the search results that big video thumbnail, which is like a lot of real estate. So the rate of growth is like 150% for YouTube, and text is now losing ground. So I think you want to be on the right side of this. So really the point is YouTube is the fastest growing source in AI search. And that's something I really don't think you can afford to ignore, YouTube. You've probably used it in the past, but the way that you're going to use YouTube now is going to be a little bit different. It's really all about answering specific buyer questions. So right now, the citations are moving over to video very fast. And so I think it's like a closing window or a land grab or something like that. I've seen this work for myself, and we'll get into that in a minute. But so I do know that this can work. So I had a theory that I wanted to test based on the points in this article and what's happening in GEO. And the theory was I thought if I made the best answers in video format, that I could then get cited in AI search, AI overviews or AI search. So I set about making a test. And the test was let's answer specific buyer questions, my buyers, their questions in their exact words. And I know this from sales conversations and from transcripts that get recorded. I have their exact language. And that's very important because so often your buyers may be using different language than you are. So you got to know what are they actually searching for. And if you have that, or you have a really good idea or good enough idea, you can start to test that. So here's what I came up with. I wanted to answer this question. Does video help B2B companies show up in AI searches? And so I made a video that answered that as directly and specifically as possible. And lo and behold, it showed up the next day. And so you can get quick results, at least within the Google ecosystem. So this video I made very specifically answered that question. I think the idea is that this is the best answer it could find to that specific question. So therefore, it's the one that is serving up, is sort of like the prime spot right there. So just a closer look. Yeah, that's me right there. You can see my name down there. And look at the video. It's only 2 minutes and 19 seconds long. So this is not about length. This is not about how many views you get. This is about how good you are at answering their specific question. That's the real game. So that was test one, and that showed up the next day in the top spot in Google's AI overviews. So a little bit later, I ran another test, test number two, about 30 days after. It might have been more like 40, 50, something like that, but at least 30 days. And by this point, I've been talking about GEO and video, or AEO, answer engine optimization, basically the whole idea of AI search and using video to show up there. I've been talking about this and interviewing people. So I think, as far as I can tell, I'm the world's leading expert at the intersection of video and GEO or AEO. I don't know anyone that's talking about that specific sliver of overlap more than me. So I'm probably the best answer for this. I talk about it on my website, I talk about it on my blog, and I talk about it in YouTube content and on LinkedIn. So, test two. Ask the same question. Does video help B2B companies show up in AI searches? And guess what? We got 4 of my videos now showing up. I got one in the top spot. I think it's a different video than the first one I showed you. And then we've got over here on the side, another one of my videos. And then down there below, we've got 2 more. So these are varying lengths and recencies. This one is an interview with someone else who's actually a GEO expert. So kind of leaning on their expertise to add to the conversation, to add value to my viewers, and also to help educate me so I can be more helpful and more of an expert on this topic. So it's sort of like 2 birds, 1 stone. I get the visibility and kind of piggyback on their expertise a little bit. And then we put our ideas together and we get some original thought leadership, new ideas coming out of our shared experiences. So just digging in a little bit closer, you can see a little fuzzy there, but the link is YouTube for my video. Got Reddit up there at the top spot, but look at that little link. It says Reddit, and then compare that to the real estate of my thumbnail. Much more visual impression. You can decide for yourself which one's more valuable, but it's just worth noting that taken together, it's a lot more real estate. Over there on the side, you can also see I've got another one also on YouTube. I can see my name right there. That one's only 49 seconds long. So again, the video answers don't have to be about length. It's about how good you answer the question. Another look down below, we've got the interview I did with Cassie. That one's back in April. So why video content is mission critical for B2B marketers. The longer stuff, there's a 15-minute conversation that also can show up clearly. And let's get into the takeaways here. What does this mean for you? Number one, obviously, video can show up as far as top spot for AI citations. And then, you'll notice on the Google AI overviews, it was not summarized. It showed exactly, my name, it showed the name of my video, and it got the thumbnail. So you get to really show up. Clearly, the best answers are the ones that tend to show up. I think if you're having conversations like in a podcast format and you're kind of meandering around a topic without specifically answering questions, that's probably going to tend to be less likely to be cited. But when you get really clinical and surgical and precise about answering exact buyer questions in their language with the exact answer that resonates in their language, you're going to be more likely to win. And then also, I think it's pretty obvious that recency is important. You can't just post these answers and just leave them out there and say that you've claimed that land forever. These things are going to be checking for recency because things change. Advice you give now may not be relevant in 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 days. You know how things are going right now. So what should we do about this? Because of all these changes and the primacy of YouTube for GEO, I've developed an audit where we're looking at your YouTube page specifically through the lens of GEO. Are you showing up when buyers are asking questions? Are you answering their questions with video? So we're going to look at that We're going to find what holes are there, and then we're going to plug them. We'll prioritize together what needs to happen first. I like to think about it like content bingo. If there's a big gap, we probably want to cover that. If you're losing people in the sales funnel, that's probably the first place to plug that hole. So I can help you with this. We'll review your YouTube page. And what I'll do is I'll give you the top 3 recommendations for what we or you can do. And then we'll identify which one's going to have the #1 impact. So how does that work? Well, we're going to look at your buyer questions. What are your buyers asking? Now, if you've got transcripts or you've been in business for a while, you probably know this stuff intuitively by now. But it's important that we get good answers about exactly the words they're using. And we can use tools to find out. I don't know what tools you would have, but there's a lot of stuff out there to help get a better idea of that. So the areas that we cover, we're going to look at the strategy of your YouTube page. Is it sort of narrow enough that it makes sense, or are you posting videos of your kids and then a Claude Code video and then something about accounting, or are you more like more focused? We'll look at your channel health. Are you posting regularly? Is it working? Is it looking good? Are people watching? We'll look at the packaging, like the thumbnails, things like that, the banner on the page, the substance of your content. Are you producing the stuff that's actually useful for your buyers, answering their questions, or is it just more stuff that's convenient for you to produce, or a way that you prefer to make video that's doable for you, but not necessarily valuable for them? We'll look at that through the AI visibility lens. Is it showing up? We'll look at conversion. Are your videos converting? Are they leading your buyers from one step to the next step, and so on? And are you kind of putting that into your video content itself? And then who owns this channel? Who's got ownership of your video initiative? A lot of times that's sort of an open question. So we need to, make sure that someone's driving that so we can measure success. So what you're going to get a simple document that has those things we talked about, the 3 recommendations and the #1 most impact. And these are going to be actionable steps that you can either take yourself or I can help you with. So what's the catch? You have to ask for it. I don't know if you want to do this or not. So just reach out if you want to do it, and I'll do it for you and with you. So there's my email address. Take a screenshot if you want. And just reach out, and we'll see where you stand and what we can do about it. I hope that helps, and good luck.